what is the difference between a need and a want? I'm a watch enthusiast and I'm also a car enthusiast. So let me first give you an example of what I mean in the world of automobiles. Do you need a white Lamborghini Countach in your living room? No, you don't. Nobody needs a white Lamborghini Countach or a Lamborghini or a Countach for that matter in a living room. But do you want it? See what I mean? Now let me move that analogy to watches and more pertaining to today's video. Do you need to see the shift of Earth's only natural satellite on your wrist? No, you don't. But do you want it? Hello and welcome back to the Wrist Palette. As always, I hope you guys are doing excellent and you're wearing your favorite watches, or you are at least shopping for your favorite watches. Now, this particular video, today's video that is something that really interests me. It's the most favorite topic of mine. Not wristwatches, but this particular complication on a wristwatch. And so I had a lot of fun doing some research for it, which I hope you will enjoy too in the course of the next few minutes. Now, more than me talking about it, I'm going to read a quote about the Moonphase complication that I read on a website called Crown and Caliber, which kind of aptly sums up the Moonphase complication in a very simple manner and a better manner than I could ever put it across. And here's that quote for you. No complication is quite as romantic, elegant, and poetic as the Moonphase complication. And I think that one sentence perfectly summarizes everything about the Moonphase complication. You don't need it, but you still want it. It's kind of irrelevant, but it is, according to me at least, what a wristwatch can do, what a wristwatch without any batteries at least can do. And I think it's pure, it is the purest form of art and joy on your wrist. Now, before we move on and see the watches that are lined up in today's video, a bit of horology 101 as to the Moonphase watch. But I misspoke, because before we can talk about the complication, we need a quick 101 on the moon itself. Earth's only natural satellite, the moon, is seen in 8 different phases from the Earth, and this is because of the light which is being beamed from the sun. The 8 lunar phases start with a new moon, where the new moon is not visible with the naked eye, goes up to a full moon where the moon is glowing remarkably and we are busy taking pictures of it, and back to a new moon again, and this cycle repeats itself every 29.5 days. But that would be in layman's speak, because to be precise, this cycle is repeated 29 days, 12 hours and 44 minutes, rounded up to approximately 29.53 days. Now, why is the moon phase important? As with many other subjects, it comes down to our ancestors, who used the phases of the moon to track time and seasons. In fact, lunar calendars are still used in many places, with Islam being a religion which uses a pure lunar calendar. In addition, the moon phase was also used as a means of navigation by many, as the bright side of the moon points towards the direction of the sun, which would roughly indicate east or west. Now, coming to the moon phase watch, these watches show the sunlit portion of the moon as it appears from the Earth. The moon's phases are usually displayed on the watch's dial through an aperture or a small opening, but as we will see, a lot of new age brands are doing the moon phase complication in innovative ways. Coming to the accuracy side of things, as you can imagine, moon phase watches might not be exactly accurate, as these watches are missing out about 0.03 days each month, which eventually adds up, leading to a full day every 2 years. While there are some brands which require you to manually adjust the watch every couple of years, we will see one particular brand where the accuracy is in the order of about 3,000 years. I think that's good enough a science lesson. Let's take a look at our first watch. Our first watch comes from a brand which is relatively young. Formed in 2017 by Dutchmen Sebastian and Jules, Mayan is a word which actually means the moon, because what they say is that Mayan is the old Dutch spelling of the word moon, and the founders thought it appropriate that they should also come out with a Moonphase complication, which is what we are going to see in their Luna Classic 36. A beautiful watch which is available both with a bracelet or a strap and is available in four striking colors: cream white, midnight blue, salmon, and graphite. The Luna Classic 36 is powered by the Salita SW280 movement, and Mayan gives you the option to get the standard movement or a top grade movement, where the difference is that the top grade movement essentially gets parts which are of a higher quality, and in this particular case the rhodium plated and a fully decorated movement with blue screws can also be seen on the open case pack of the watch. The Luna Classic 36, as the name suggests, gets a 36mm case diameter in 316L stainless steel, and it's the midnight blue which really catches my fancy because I really think this is a dial which has great contrast going for it. There's a bit of white, there's a bit of blue, and you can also see a little bit of orange in the entire Moonphase complication too. Other features of the Luna Classic 36 include a screwed case back, a box domed sapphire crystal, and 50 meters of water resistance. Since this is a new launch from the brand, the deliveries of the watch are expected to commence from late May 2025, and the prices for the Luna Classic 36 start at about 950 US dollars, which increases once you decide what kind of specification you want the movement to be and how you want your strap to be. For the price and what is on offer, I really think the Luna Classic 36 is a no-nonsense watch for someone looking for a beautiful Moonphase complication. For our second watch of the list, we are taking a look at the Moon Project's watch, the Project Orion. Now, if you want to know what I would pick of this lot, it's this watch right here. Stop this video, look no further. This is the watch I would personally have. I don't think I've ever seen a Moonphase watch which is so beautiful and so well designed than the one by Moon Projects. Now, if you're wondering why you haven't heard of this company, Moon Projects originated in the year 2020 within watchmaking forums and evolved on Kickstarter to produce watches which prominently have a Moonphase complication in them. The brand has already produced the Project Origin and the Project Orion, and they're now working on developing Project Artemis, which is going to be a Moonphase complication with a chronograph complication. The amount of detail which Moon Projects have put up on their website is, it is so technically advanced and just so interesting to read. I could go on day in and day out, but I'm going to stop myself and just focus on the watch that we are talking about, which is Project Orion. The Orion is available in four colors: Orion Grey representing the colors of the lunar soil, Orion White in the colors of Orion, and there's Orion Green, which is in the colors of the ESA, the European Space Agency, and Orion Blue in the colors of NASA, which I don't think I need to explain any further. All models get what the brand calls a world-first moon disc, which features a luminescent moon disc crafted using a cutting-edge laser printing process. The moon disc is the result of a 2-year collaboration with a company called AJS Production, which is a Swiss workshop which is known for their expertise in miniaturizing watch components. And I think based on the video that the brand has put up, it really shows that immense effort has gone into making this particular part of the watch itself. I'm lost for words. I'm generally not a person who is lost for words, but here I am. I could look at this watch, I guess, all day. And as I said, this is the watch that I would pick off the lot just for how beautiful it looks. All versions of the Orion are powered by the Salita SW288 caliber, but I mean, come on, just look at that beautiful dial. And speaking about the dial, this is a 38 millimeter case in 316L stainless steel, about 10 millimeters thick and 100 meters of water resistance. While some of the color variants are already sold out, I still find that some are available for pre-order with delivery starting around June of 2025. As far as the price is concerned, it costs from about 1,320 US dollars. And do I even need to say anything about the price? This is one of those things where I feel they could have even priced it a lot more. They aren't, because this is just, I think this is really a benchmark in watchmaking, if I can call it that. It's just such a beautiful looking dial, and this is definitely very, very high on my wish list. And I can't wait to see what the brand does with the Moonphase and the chronograph complication, which they say is currently under development and is expected to be launched shortly as well. The next watch on our list is from the brand Oxen Jr. This watch again is something that I would term as a work of art, work of science. I'm really lost for words. Maybe you can help me out here. And there's good reason for that. The brand was founded in 2006 by Ludwig Oxlin. And for those of you who don't know, Ludwig Oxlin is the reason why Ulysse Nardin rose to popularity in the first place. He was the brains behind the Ulysse Nardin Freak, the watch so popular that we still see visuals of it till day. Where other watches in the watch industry generally focus on complications, Oxen Jr. primarily focus on the design process and construction, and they really like to simplify design in a way which hasn't been done before, and I think you'll see why. The brand makes a lot of watches and they are primarily design based, and the design focus is on time because the complications available include the Moonphase, a day and night feature, an annual calendar, or even a perpetual calendar. But it's the Moonphase complication that we're talking about now. As you can see, the design is, well, at first you are wondering what the design is, but upon closer inspection, I think you're blown away with how simple the entire design is and yet how elegant the solution is. The center of the watch is supposed to represent the Earth, and the large dot at 12 o'clock is supposed to represent the Sun. A full moon is when the moon is opposite the Sun and Earth at 6 o'clock, and a new moon is when the moon is hidden between the Sun and Earth at 12 o'clock. The new moon is represented by a dark circle at the 6 o'clock. As far as the date is concerned, there is no traditional date window. Rather, you get 30 plus 1 holes around the perimeter of the dial, which display the date. The 10-minute markers serve as reference points, and you can, after, I'm assuming after a bit of practice, you get to know what date you're on based on simply looking at the hole that the marker is in. As far as the precision is concerned, while I'm not talking about precision for other watches, because at the end of the day, we do know that the Moonphase complication can be off by some time, and that's not the primal focus. However, I decided that this is a highlight for the Oxen Jr. because even with such a simple design, Oxen Jr. said that their Moonphase watch is going to have a precision for about 3,478.27 years before it is off by 1 day. So hopefully, and if Elon Musk or someone hasn't invented something which extends your life for 1,000,000 years, you will only have to set the watch once in your lifetime. The case diameter is customizable as Oxen Jr. make only about 50 Moonphase watches in a year. You can get 36, 39 or 42 millimeters, and the case material can either be sterling silver or titanium. Both titanium and the sterling silver have about 100 meters of water resistance, The movement is the ETA 2824 with 38 hours of power reserve, and the crown can be manufactured either on the left or the right hand side of the case. As I said, this is a highly customizable watch. Prices for the Oxen Junior Moonphase start from 9,100 US dollars and vary depending on the customization chosen. For this price, you are getting a one of a kind watch from one of the most renowned watchmakers in the world with a design which I'm sure no other watch maker or watch manufacturer will be able to imitate. Now, at the risk of the comment section of this video exploding with stuff like I'm suggesting watches which cost more than 5,000, 6,000 US dollars, I wanted the next watch on the list to be something which a lot more of us could afford. The brand that we're talking about is Burr, started by Thomas. And Thomas goes on to say that he actually started the brand because he was looking for a vintage Moonphase watch, and that because prices were already soaring, or brands which were offering watches at decent prices couldn't be relied upon, Thomas started Burr in 2017, and one of the first watches he has made is the Burr Tungle, which is a Moonphase watch. I'm not sure whether you pronounce it Tungle or Tungle, but that word is Icelandic for moon. The Tungle is available in 3 colors, blue, black, and cream, and can be had with either a bracelet or a leather strap. Personally, I like the Tungle either in blue or black, and I think this is a very elegant design, and despite of there being a lot going on the dial actually does not look pretty busy. Credits to the design team for that. The Tungle gets a 316L case with a 38mm case diameter, powered by a Swiss quartz movement, which is one of the reasons why the watch is affordable. There's a double dome Hasselite glass, and water resistance is at 50 meters. Personally, I think this watch ticks all the boxes, and at $385, it represents a great entry into the Moonphase complication. The next watch on our list is from Eco Nutra, a brand that I've been following for quite some time on Instagram. Their first watch, the Eco Nutra Avero, is available either in a big moon or in a normal Moonphase complication. It's the big moon that I'm talking about here, as I really think the brand is representing the Moonphase complication as such in a rather unique format. On the lower half of the dial, we see a large convex moon which can turn on itself and has 2 arrow indicators on either side to indicate the current moon phase, either graphically on one side or textually on the other. Available in 2 colors, black or white. You can't go wrong with either colors, and I think the designers have really nailed it with the representation of the moon. The case diameter is 39mm with 100 meters of water resistance, and the movement is a Salita SW280. The watch gets a domed sapphire crystal, and at $805 US, I really think this represents terrific value for money. Our next watch comes from UK, the brand Lorasum, founded by Jason Chan. Now, if you're wondering, Lorasum sounds a bit like the Lorem Ipsum, which the placeholder text we see in a lot of designs. That is actually the inspiration for this brand's name. Lorasum say that they want to create designs which highlight the visual appeal of a layout without distracting from the design itself. The watch we are talking about is the LS04 Moon Landing 55th Limited Edition. The LS04 is also available in a non-limited edition, but I really wanted to take a look at the limited edition because I think you do get quite a lot of value for the asking price. Limited to just 200 pieces, which are all individually numbered, the LS04 takes the Moonphase complication in a pretty traditional format, which we see in a lot of other brands as well. There's an aperture in the upper half of the dial, which represents the face of the moon, the sunlit face of the moon as viewed from the Earth, and the moon itself is a golden disc, in this case a gold-plated disc. But there is a very interesting design aspect to this golden disc moon, apart from the craters, of course. Did you manage to spot it? If you haven't spotted it, here you go. See that? That is the imprint symbolizing the first step on the moon's surface. Well, props to the designer because they really ensured that such a small piece of design could put a smile on my face, and I hope it has put a smile on your face as well. And when you turn the watch behind, you will find another detailed footprint engraved with Neil Armstrong's famous words.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
The watch itself gets the Salita SW200 movement. The case diameter is 39.5 millimeters with a lug-to-lug of 46.5 millimeters. You get water resistance of 50 meters. In terms of price, the LS04 is priced from about $1,060 US. Our next watch comes from the brand Selten, started in 2017 by Leonardo Sai. The word Selten is taken from the German word for rare, and the brand say that they have utmost respect for German watchmaking. They have already made a watch dedicated to the Moonphase complication, but it's the new version that we are interested in, the M1 Moonphase. The M1 Moonphase is available in a variety of different styles. The one that really caught my fancy is the Aventurine. In this version, the dial is made of aventurine stone and gives a nice effect of a starry night, yet maintaining a very minimalist design. The M1 Moonphase gets a subdial with an aperture for the Moonphase complication, and the readout of the Moonphase is pretty simple as well. Priced from $899, the M1 gets a 39mm stainless steel case and comes with a modified Miyota 9015 movement. The lug-to-lug is 45.5 millimeters and the water resistance is rated for 50 meters. Turn the watch on the back and you get a customized rotor which Selten say is fitted on their watches. The complication is powered by a 59-tooth gear that advances one notch every 24 hours. And as far as the precision is concerned, Selten say you have to adjust the Moonphase indicator once every 3 years. Well, that brings me to the end of the video, and I really hope that you like the watches that were on this list. As you can see, these weren't mainstream brands, and at the same time, these weren't brands which put a luxury price tag on their watches as well. And yet, what I really liked was that each of these brands have represented the Moonphase in their own artistic manner. And again, I think I'm going to tire saying this, but if I had the option to purchase all these watches, I probably would. Let me know what you think about this content. Let me know what your favorite watch was, and it would be great if you could like this video and if you could actually leave a comment as well, because that's how YouTube's algorithm probably promotes this video to more people. So that would be super helpful for me and for the channel, and to ensure that I can bring out similar content to you again in the future. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.